So good day, everyone. Thank you all for attending this session tonight. I'm Desajin Casalme, and on behalf of the TB Gen 4 team, it is my pleasure to present our study entitled Phenotypic-Genotypic Correlation of Resistance to New and Repurposed Drugs and Drug-Resistant Tuberculosis in the Philippines. So I have no conflict of interest to report. Around 87% of new TB cases occurred in the 30 high TB burden countries, with two-thirds of the global total from 8 countries, including our country in the Philippines. So in 2024, the Philippines has the world's third highest number of people affected by TB. The country's TB incidence in the same year was 625 per 100,000 population, with about 30,000 people estimated to develop multi-drug resistant or rifampicin resistant TB. Genomic data on Mycobacterium tuberculosis isolates from the Philippines remain limited. Previous studies have identified both the ancient lineage 1 and the modern lineages 2 and 4 circulating in the country. A nationwide genomic study of 724 MTB isolates collected between 2011 and 2019 found that lineage 1 predominated, accounting for 72.5% of isolates. Approximately two-thirds or 66% were multi-drug resistant TB, while 14.1% harbored fluoroquinolone resistance associated mutations. Only a small proportion or 0.4% showed evidence of potential extensively drug-resistant TB. In addition, four frameshift mutations in MMPR5 were identified across three isolates. Although phenotypic bedaquiline susceptibility testing was not performed in this prior study, these frameshift mutations are well-established markers of bedaquiline resistance. This slide, on the other hand, summarizes the available Philippine datasets reporting fluoroquinolone resistance. So the largest recent genomic study by Wang and colleagues, as I mentioned earlier, analyzed 724 isolates collected between 2011 to 2019 and reported an overall fluoroquinolone resistance rate of 14.1%, although the cohort included a high proportion of multi-drug resistant TB isolates. In contrast, the 2012 National Drug Resistance Survey in the country, which included 991 isolates, found an overall resistance rate of only 0.1%. Similarly, Phelan and colleagues, analyzing 178 isolates from the same drug resistance survey in 2012, and Rajos and colleagues, with 71 isolates collected from 2019 to 2021, detected no fluoroquinolone resistance. Together, these studies demonstrate the limited and somewhat variable local evidence, underscoring the need for updated genomic surveillance using Philippine isolate. Just to orient you on the advances in MDR-TB treatment in the country, so DRTB treatment became available in the Philippines in 1998, and new anti-tuberculosis drugs developed in the past decade, such as bedaquiline, pretomanid, and delamanid, combined with other repurposed agents such as clofazimine, linezolid, and fluoroquinolones, have enabled shorter, safer, and more effective regimens. Bedaquiline was fully rolled out in the Philippines in 2020, followed by the shortened BPAL-BPAL regimens in December 2023, such that in 2025, 90% of Filipinos with drug-resistant TB in the Philippines were treated with BPAL or BPAL regimens. Prior to the country adoption of bedaquiline, clofazimine had been used as part of MDR-TB regimen since 2012. This is important because clofazimine and bedaquiline are known to have a high rate of cross-resistance, and with a decade of use of clofazimine in MDR-TB treatment, resistance is likely to have emerged. However, surveillance for these drugs remain lacking. In this study, we examined the phenotypic-genotypic correlation for these new and repurposed anti-tuberculosis drugs in the country. So we used baseline isolates from people with drug-resistant TB in Cavite, a province just south of Manila, um, for, collected from April 2019 to April 2022, and from individuals prospectively enrolled in 2025. So Cavite is shown here as the small dot of red here in the map of the Philippines, you can see. Baseline Mycobacterium Tuberculosis isolates were analyzed in this study. The MTB DNA was manually extracted at our laboratory and subsequently sent to the Philippine Genome Center for whole genome sequencing and was assessed for quality using agarose gel electrophoresis and qubit fluorometric quantification prior to sequencing. Whole genome sequencing was performed using paired-to-end sequencing on the NOVA 66000 platform, followed by bioinformatic analysis to determine the Mycobacterium tuberculosis lineage and identify genomic variants associated with drug resistance. Concurrently, phenotypic drug susceptibility testing was done at Tropical Disease Foundation in the Philippines on the corresponding isolates using the Midget 960 system. So a total of 325 baseline MTB isolates were initially available, comprising of 212 stored isolates from the TB culture laboratory in Cavite, 90 report isolates, and 23 prospectively collected isolates. Of these, 276 isolates were successfully revived, and 274 yielded DNA that met quality control for whole genome sequencing. So for the final analysis for this presentation, only isolates with corresponding phenotypic drug susceptibility testing, resulting in a final cohort of 138 paired isolates was used. This paired dataset enabled direct comparison between genomic resistance markers identified by whole genome sequencing and phenotypic DST testing. So before presenting the results from the paired genotypic and phenotypic analysis, I would first like to provide an overview of the whole genome sequencing results from all the 274 MTB isolates. So this phylogenetic tree on the right illustrates the genetic diversity of the isolates and the distribution of resistance-associated mutations. Fluoroquinolone resistance-associated mutations were rare, identified in only 3 of the 274 isolates, 2 carrying the GYRA D94G mutation and 1 carrying GYRB S447F mutation. All 3 were lineage 4 strains. Bedaquiline resistance associated mutations were detected in 7 isolates from this 274, or 2.5% of the cohort, involving mutations in RV0678, including L32FS, D47FS, L142FS, L67FS, Y157, and G25FS for the 6 lineage 1 strains. A mutation on RB0678 E49FS for the 1 lineage 4 strain. The laminid resistance is not shown on the phylogenetic because none of the detected variants were loss of function mutations or had a WHO classification associated with this resistance. Likewise, there were no WHO classified resistance associated mutations identified for linezolid and or pretomanid. So to place these findings into context, we next compare the genomic resistance profile of our Cavite MTB isolates with that reported by Wang and colleagues from the Philippines, which included a final sample size of 724 isolates. So the one in blue is from the paper by Wang and colleagues using 724 isolates, and the one in orange is that from our cohort. So this comparison allows us to determine whether the resistance patterns observed in our cohort are consistent with those reported in other areas in the Philippines, particularly for both first-line and second-line anti-TB drugs. So most notably, resistance to second-line injectable drugs and fluoroquinolones was substantially lower in our isolates. Fluoroquinolone resistance was observed in only 1.1%, compared with 14.1% in the study of Wang. Likewise, resistance to the second-line injectable agents such as amikacin, capreomycin, and kanamycin was rare. Bedaquiline resistance also remained uncommon at 2.6%, you can see, supporting the limited emergence of resistance to newer TB drugs in our setting. This finding suggests that while resistance to the core first-line drugs remain common, resistance to key second-line and newer drugs is still relatively uncommon in the country. We next examined how well these genomic findings corresponded with phenotypic drug susceptibility testing using the paired isolate dataset. Among the 274 isolates, which I showed with whole genome sequencing results, 138 had both genomic and phenotypic DST data and were included in the paired analysis. The participants had a mean age of 43 years and mostly were male, accounting for 71% of the cohort. HIV co-infection was uncommon, with only 2 of 121 participants, or 1.7%, testing positive. Nearly half of the participants, or 46%, had a previous history of tuberculosis. Treatment history was available for 29 individuals. Of these, almost 90% had previously received first line anti TB drugs, while only 2 individuals, or 6.8%, had been exposed to second line treatment regimens. This included the standard shorter all-oral regimen with bedaquiline and the standard shorter regimen with injectable agents, which contain fluoroquinolones, clofazimine, prothionamide, ethambutol, pyrazinamide, and high-dose isoniazid. Looking at the genomic findings, the pie chart on the left, lineage 1.2.1 was by far the most common strain, accounting for 85% of the isolates in blue, followed by lineage 4 at 10% and lineage 2 at 5%. This is consistent with the molecular epidemiology of MTB in the country. Fluoroquinolone resistance remained uncommon, only 2 isolates, or 1.4%, and both were lineage 4 strains. Interestingly, although 2 isolates were phenotypically resistant by DST, one of these had no corresponding resistance mutation detected by whole genome sequencing, highlighting incomplete genotype-phenotype concordance. For bedaquiline, 3 isolates, or 2%, harbored RV0678 resistance-associated mutations. All three were lineage 1 strains and were also phenotypically resistant and showed concurrent resistance to clofazimine on DST, demonstrating complete genotype-phenotype concordance. Phenotypic resistance to the lamanide was observed in 9 isolates, representing 6% of the cohort. However, only 2 isolates carried the same whole genome sequencing variant, which is the FBIA V188F, which is currently considered a mutation of uncertain significance rather than a confirmed resistance marker. Predominant resistance was identified phenotypically in 3 isolates, or 2%, but no WHO resistance associated mutations were detected. Finally, all isolates remain phenotypically susceptible to linezolid, and none of the mutations identified by whole genome sequencing are currently recognized by the WHO as being associated with linezolid resistance. So here are the key takeaways. Resistance to key second line and newer anti-TB drugs remained low in our cohort, which is reassuring as the Philippines continues to scale up PPAL and BPAL regimens. Whole genome sequencing accurately identified bedaquiline resistance, but was less reliable for some other drugs, reflecting remaining gaps in our understanding of resistance mechanisms. These findings emphasize that genomic surveillance, together with phenotypic drug susceptibility testing, will be essential for early detection of emerging resistance and for informing future diagnostics, treatment strategies, and national TB policy in lineage 1 predominant settings. Finally, we need to enhance patient support and treatment adherence, as this is the cornerstone in preventing drug resistance. So, we'd just like to acknowledge our collaborators from Emory University, led by Dr. Sarita Shah, in Columbia University, led by Dr. Barun Mathema, and our local team in the La Salle Medical and Health Sciences Institute here in the Philippines, led by Dr. Maria Tercel Leclerc. We also thank Dr. Charles Hu from the Post Report team in the Philippines, the Philippine Genome Center, the Tropical Disease Foundation, our partners where we tested our isolate and MTB DNA. Our sponsors, PCHRD and PRDF Global, the support of the NTP, and also our participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tessa. Thank you.